Hello and welcome to this tutorial video on how to make music with Soundtrap. So the first thing that we need to understand with any music recording program is it's often called a DAW. Now DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. Now there's lots of these on the market. We've got GarageBand and Logic Pro on the Mac. You've got other programs like Pro Tools, Ableton Live. There's lots of programs you can use. We are going to use Soundtrap today because it works in your web browser. Now for today's lesson, I recommend that you use a laptop or desktop computer, and also I recommend that you use Google Chrome. Google Chrome is the best browser for running Soundtrap. You can do these. You can do this lesson on an iPad or an Android tablet, but you will need to go and download the Soundtrap app from either Google Play or the Apple App Store. Okay, so make sure you do that first and then come back to this video. Okay, so today we are going to do a number of things. We are going to learn how to input data or notes into Soundtrap in 3 different ways. We're going to make a drum beat. We're going to put some chords in on a piano. We're going to add a bass line. We're going to add in a pre-made loop. And we're also going to add an audio track. We're going to try and add some claps to the piece of music that we make. Okay. I recommend that you have the Google Doc open in another tab, because I will be referring to some of those things as we go along. So make sure you've got a good set of headphones on, and that'll also help. It'll help you hear what we're doing. So the first thing I want you to do is go to Google Classroom and click on the Soundtrap link I've put in there, and you need to sign in with your school Gmail account, or you can use the password and link I've put in the assignment. When you first log in, you'll come up with a blank screen like that. So to begin with, what we're going to do is we're just going to add a drum beat. So we've got loads of instruments here. I'm just going to pick drum beat, and I'm just going to use, for today, I'm going to use the vanilla drum kit. Later on, you can change that if you wish. Now, there's 3 different ways you can input notes into Soundtrap. The first one is patterns. Okay, so I can click into these little squares. Okay, I can also play in using my keyboard. Okay, and I can also draw the notes in. I'll just go down here. I can draw notes in this way as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, let me just get rid of that note. Okay, first I'm going to use the patterns input first, because I find it is the most straightforward. Okay, now what I'm going to try and replicate here is I'm going to replicate a drum beat that we did earlier this year when I got you guys playing basic drum beats, and this is often referred to as the Billie Jean beat. So I'm going to put a kick on beat 1 and beat 3. Okay, now what you can see here is that it's organized into blocks of 4s. Okay, so this is beat 1, this is beat 2, this is beat 3, this is beat 4, and then this number here is the next bar. Okay, so this is what we call a bar of music or a measure of music. Okay, so I'm going to put a kick on 1 and 3, a snare drum on 2 and 4. Then I'm going to put a hi-hat on the 1st and 3rd. This is going to give me a quaver rock beat or an 8th note rock beat. Let's just see what that should be right. Let's have a listen. So I'm just going to make sure my metronome's on. Cool. Okay, so I've got a bit of a drum beat there. Okay, so that's one way I can do it. Okay, the other way I can do it, if I just come out of here, I'm just going to delete what I've just done. Okay, I'll get rid of him. Okay, I'm just going to go to the instrument. So on my keyboard, I've got the A. So I've got my open hi-hat, which is O. I've got my snare drum, which is D. And then my bass drum, which is A. Okay, now I'm going to try and record this into the click. I'm just going to change my tempo very slightly just to make it a little bit easier. Cool. Now if you're not a drummer, this can be quite tricky. So if you want to skip this and either try the patterns one, do that now, or you can just have a go with me. Okay, but you do need a keyboard. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and record that in to the metronome. Now you need to make sure the metronome's on so that we keep it in time. So I'm going to hit record. When I hit record, it's going to give me a 2-bar count in. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now you'll notice when you do this for the first time, there is a bit of a delay because we are recording over the internet. So if we listen back to my playing now, you'll notice it's pretty bad. Okay, now because we recorded to a click and this program is very clever, if I right click on this, let me just go zoom in a bit here so you guys can see. There we go. If I click on this edit button, now I'm going to quantize. I'm going to quantize it to 1/8 notes because that was the fastest thing I was playing on the hi-hat. Now if you just have a look there, you'll notice that the notes just jumped. And now if we listen back to my playing again, oh, that's not very good. So we might need to do that again. Let's go and edit the notes. Okay, we can see in there. Oh, look, that note there needs to move to there. Now let's have a look. Great. Oh, I just need to copy that one. So I can just select that one and move it to there. There we go. Great. Okay, so now I've played in my drum beat. I don't need to be a great drummer because I can get it quantized. Okay, so the third way is we can input via the piano roll, which I've deliberately done now because we can see these are where the notes are on the piano. Now I'll just show you how to do this if you're doing it from scratch. Okay, so I'll go and get my pencil. I recommend that you zoom in a little bit so you can see the different beats. There we go. Okay, here's my kick drum. So I can stick one there. Okay, that's good. My snare drum's there. Let's just see, my kick drum is there. And my snare drum's there. Okay, let's just have a listen. Good, then I need to put my hi-hat in, which I think is on the F sharp. Okay, so one there. That's probably going to be there, I think. I might not have got that quite right. Let's have a listen. Oh, so I need to move that one slightly. There we go. Cool. Okay, so that's the 3 ways you can input drums into Soundtrap. Now what I'm going to do next, because what we're going to be doing next is recording in some piano. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. Now we need to create a 4-bar keyboard pattern. So I'm just going to loop this 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, and then make a little loop. This purple thing at the top will loop those 4 bars. Okay, so I've got my 4 bars. There we go. Great. Okay, what I want to do before we move on is I'm going to edit some of these notes. Let's just have a look. Okay, I'm going to make this one here a double kick. Here we go. Okay, let's just move along. Let's put another little variation in on this one, but let's make it a little bit funky on the last one. Here we go. Okay. Cool. Okay, so what I want you guys to do now is have a little play and see if you can make your drum beat nice and interesting. Don't play for too long because now what we're going to do is we're going to add a keyboard part. Okay, so I'm going to go add new track, piano and keyboards. Just for today, I'm just going to use a grand piano. Now with the piano, what you'll notice is you can play in using your keys. See if I can get it to go. Oh, my internet's just running a little bit slow. Okay, you can also play in using your piano roll. Okay, I'm going to use the piano roll for today because it's a little bit easier and it'll save us time. Okay, but you can, if you wanted to, use your keyboard and then play the chords in. Now the chords that I'm going to put in for today are the chords of C, G, A minor and F. Now in the Google Doc that's attached to this assignment, you'll see I've written in the notes. Okay, let's just go back to the beginning. We're going to get a piano roll. I'm going to select my pencil and our first chord is the chord of C, so we need C, E and G. So I'm just going to go down here and go C, and let's just drag that. Oh, my computer's just going a little bit slow there. There we go. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, the internet's running slow in the house. Let's see if I can get this working again. Hold on. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Now, when you click on it, it tells you the note, so that needs to move up a one, hopefully. There we go. E, and then we need a G. That's got to come down. There we go. So we've got our C chord, hopefully. Cool. Okay. Now we're going to go to our next bar here. Just going to move that along. Okay, and for our next chord, we are going to do the chord of G. Okay, so I'm just going to start right on here. So there's our G. G, we need a B, and we need a D. Okay. Oh, there's a wrong note there. Oh, there we go. Move that one down. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to move this one along. I'm just using this marker to make sure that I'm starting at the right bar. Okay, and our third chord is A minor. So if I come down to here, where is it? There we go. We want A, C, C, and then E. Cool. And then our fourth chord, okay, is F, which is F, A, and C. So I can come, let's down here. There we go, F. There we go, and C. Cool. Okay, let's have a listen to our chord progression now. From the beginning. If you press return, it takes you back to the beginning of your loop. Oh, let's try again. Oh. Okay, we've got some wrong notes there, Mr. Child. Let's go and tweak those. Oh dear. That's not very good. Okay, so that one should be... there we go. C. Try that again. Cool. Okay. Now you'll notice here some of the notes are not quite going to the end of the bar. So I'm just going to lasso all of them with my mouse. Oh, see if it works now. I'm just going to extend them very slightly. There we go. Cool. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn that off record. I'm going to add a bass line now. Okay, so I'm going to go into here, go to guitar and bass. Now it always comes up with lead guitar, but I'm going to change that for electric for the moment. I'm going to use clean electric because I know that one sounds okay. So what you'll notice up here, now for you guys, you probably want to be going a little bit lower down on the keyboard for the bass. There we go. Okay, so again, C, G, A, and then okay. So you can either record that in using your keyboard. So it's C, G, A. Okay, that's one way you can do it. I'm going to use the piano roll for the moment. So let's just go and grab a pencil. Here we go. So we want C, but we want the C that's nice and low down here. There we go. So we want C. Make sure you're on the right note, otherwise it'll sound a bit dodgy. Then we've got G. Then we've got A. And then we've got F. There we go. Let's have a listen. Cool. Okay. I'm just going to make that piano a little bit quieter because it's overbearing everything. Let's have a listen to that now. Oh. That's better. Good. Okay. Now, in this bar here, you'll notice that we've got that extra little kick drum here halfway through. I'm going to just change the bass drum so it follows that. See the little grid there? Let's just see if we can get that sounding the same. Here we go. Oh. Hold on. Let's just make a loop on this bar for the moment. Hold on, sorry about that. My computer's going really slow at the moment. Okay, let's just zoom in a bit. Okay, I need to move that one back a bit to about there. Cool, okay. I'm also going to do the same thing with that extra kick here. Okay, so let's just move that back a bit. Oh. There's another one on the end there, I think. Let's have a listen. Oh. Okay, the computer's going slow at the moment. Oh. Just move that to there. Cool. Okay, so I'll put a little variation in there. Let's see what that sounds like now. Okay. Cool. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a loop into things. Okay. So when we do this, Soundtrap comes with a stack of pre-made loops. Okay, so if you just go over here onto the right hand side, you can add in different drum beats. What I'm going to add here is a percussion loop. So I'm just going to search for a shaker. And let's have a look. Bounce shaker. Let's have a listen to. No. That's quite a busy one. Let's go shaker basic for the moment. Okay, that sounds good. And then I just drag that into here. Give that a second. Okay, just close that. Go to the beginning. There we go. Great. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to try is I'm going to try and add some kind of audio or vocal track. Now, to keep this nice and short, I'm just going to add some claps on beats 2 and 4. Now, the first time you try this, you may need to turn on the microphone on your laptop. Let's just see if it'll allow microphone access. Okay, cool. Now what you'll see on the left hand side here, you can see that it's picked up the fact that I'm talking. Okay. The other thing that you need to do is make sure that you use headphones. That's really, really important. Otherwise what happens is you'll get a feedback loop of of the backing track, so the music you've made plus what you're recording live. So use headphones if you can. When you go to record, what you're going to do is just hit this little R button. And it'll ask you this, use headphones when you're recording, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be using headphones. And you'll notice the sound will sound a bit weird now. I'm just going to turn the reverb down. There we go. I'm just going to put in a 1-bar clapping pattern. I'm just going to clap on 2 and 4. Let's see if we can do this. Hold on. Let me just turn the metronome on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. There we go. Now I'll just turn this R off and then the sound will improve. Let's have a listen to that to see whether I've clapped in time. Okay, not very in time. I'm slightly behind a beat there. So you could, if you wanted to, you can actually go in and chop these up. I'm not going to do that for the moment. You can't quantize this audio because it doesn't work like the other software instruments above. Okay, so far today we have learned how to input drums into Soundtrap using 3 different ways: the grid, playing in using your keyboard, and also using the piano roll. We put in some chords on the piano using the piano roll. We put in some bass notes. We added in a loop, and we also added in some audio. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is make sure you've done those 5 things today, and then have a play with it. See what happens. Change the sounds. Put in some different drum beats. Make your own drum beat. If you'll see further down in the Google Doc, I've put in some other different styles of drum beats. So if you like a particular style of music or genre from last week, then by all means change the drum beats up. The other thing you can also do, I'll just give you a little shortcut. Okay, is you can also copy regions. Okay, let me just get out of here. So I'm just going to put some strings in halfway through. Paste. There we go. Just get rid of that. Now I'm going to have some strings in. Oh, let's go back. Cool. Okay. Those strings don't sound very good, so I'm just going to select them all. Hopefully. There we go. Make them a little bit longer. Then we're going to try that. Great. Okay. I don't particularly like my claps there, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see if there's a pre-made clap loop. Let's just see if we can find. Here we go. Let's find claps and snap. There we go. That sounds great. Let's use that one. Just drag that in. I'm just going to mute my one there. Let's see. Great. Okay. So hopefully by now, by the end of today, you will know how a DAW works, how to put input notes into a DAW using different ways. Also, what I'd like you to do is over here on the right hand side of your screen where it says collaborators. Okay, if you click on that invite, okay, you can type my name, gchild@carmel.school.nz. You can invite me into your doc and I can have a read and listen to what you've done today. Okay. Hopefully you've had a good lesson today, and I will hopefully see you online next week. Take care, stay safe, get outside, get some fresh air, and keep creating.